Hi, my name is Scott Duffee, and today I want to teach a little bit about how to do some Red River Jig fancy steps, or changes as they're sometimes called, and you can work that into your Red River Jig exercise routine as you see fit. Just whatever works as a way to add some variety to your exercise routine doing the Red River Jig. With the Red River Jig, as I've said in previous videos, there's the main step, which in the Métis tradition we do that in a circle, and then you stop on the low part of the tune and you do a fancy step or a change. So the main step provides consistency, and the fancy step is what gives a lot of variation to the dance. So to get started, we'll just work our way into the resting step. Do the resting step in a circle. And I'll demonstrate the first fancy step. So that first fancy step is basically the resting step in double speed. So it's just basically a triple step, and you go super fast. So this is the resting step, and then you go twice the speed, and that's the fancy step. And it's a little lower impact because you don't actually have to hop when you do this fancy step. You can basically just tap your heel, 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 heel. And so it's kind of a lower impact fancy step, but it's very challenging to get up to speed with it. So work at your own pace, and just challenge yourself as you feel comfortable. So I'll demonstrate that once more. Start slow for demonstration, and I'll get up to speed. And this time around, I'll just go full speed. Okay, so that's the first lower impact fancy step. Now the second lower impact fancy step has a very, very slight hop in it. Full speed, it looks like this, and you'll switch to the other foot in front partway through the change. So that step is made to kind of mimic a horse galloping. And so to start that, I would encourage you to practice shifting your weight from front to back and giving a very slight hop every time. And only hop as is comfortable for your joints and for your situation. And full speed looks like this. And partway through, we'll change to the other foot in front. So full speed looks like this. Alright, so the third fancy step that's a little bit lower impact that I'd like to share with you is it's kind of like a backwards running man step. So you're kind of just running backwards on the spot. So that step's a little trickier. You give a very slight hop forward as you put your leg back. So you shift your weight to the back leg, slight hop forward, and then move your leg back. Shift, up forward. Shift, up forward. So full speed it looks like this. And slowing down, shift to the back leg, all your weight's on the back leg, you give a very slight hop forward, shift to the other leg. So again, we'll start with the main step in a circle. Stop and do our fancy step, the backwards running man. So now I'll demonstrate all three changes. And put the other foot forward, halfway through. So those are three simpler fancy steps, but they can be quite challenging, especially at first, and they really get the heart rate going. So work at your own pace and just challenge yourself as you feel comfortable and as you see fit for your situation. Thank you. So this next fancy step I'm going to show you has a scuff kick in it, but we're going to do a scuff kick on the way down after you've started shifting your weight. So you start shifting your weight and you throw a little scuff kick in on the way down. And you just practice that a few times. Try the other foot. Do that 4 times. And the trick here really is to start the process of shifting your weight before you do the scuff kick. So if you do the scuff kick and then shift your weight, it can really mess up the rhythm. So it's just to feel that you've started that process of shifting your weight. Then you throw in a scuff kick before you land. Do that a few times. And then the fancy step, we only do it 2 times. Then we hold our weight on the leg, and we do a little hop, and then shift to the other leg. Do it twice, hop, 1, 2, hop back, 1, 2, hop back, and then we'll speed up as you feel comfortable. And that can be a very tricky fancy step, so I'd encourage you to be very patient with yourself, and as you're learning the step, try to really get in touch with how that feels in your body, to be shifting your weight and throwing in a little scuff kick before you land. You do that twice, and then you put all your weight on that leg, hop back. 1, 2, hop back. 1, 2, hop back, 1, 2, hop back, 1, 2, hop back, 1, and then you shift back, 2, and then you put all your weight on the front, hop back, 1, shift back, start again, 2, hop back, 1, 2, 1, 2, and speed up as you feel comfortable. And that is a more complex version of the horse gallop fancy step. And it's a very challenging step to learn at first. And I wanted to include it just for people who wanted to really work their way up to a more challenging fancy step. All right, so I'll demonstrate that now with some music. So again, here's the more complicated horse gallop step. And these steps I like to do with the double jig step as opposed to the resting step. You can remember it starts with shifting from side to side and throwing in double hop. Hop, hop, shift, hop, hop, shift. And then you can add a scuff kick to that. And I like to do that scuff kick on my way up to the double hops. Scuff kick, hop, hop. Bend my knee, and as I'm going up, I do the scuff kick, hop, hop. Hop, 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 scuff, hop, hop. And I like to do that going in a circle. But while we're hopping, our other leg isn't really doing much because all the weight's on this leg and this one's just kind of dangling. But in the more advanced double jig step, you do a little kick before you land, just like in the more advanced horse gallop step. So you go kick, hop, hop, kick, land, kick, hop, hop, kick, land, kick, hop, hop. And that's the more complex double jig step. And it's more complex because you're throwing in that little kick before you land. Then you do an up kick, hop, hop. Kick before you land, up kick, hop, hop. And we'll do the more complex double jig step in a circle. And we'll stop, do the fancy step on the spot. Double jig step in a circle. And the second fancy step that I would like to include in this, again, it's a little more complicated, but if you're feeling ready to challenge yourself, here it is. I'll quickly demonstrate it. Now that fancy step is your basic double jig step with just crossing your foot over the front. So, kick, land, up kick, hop, hop, and you cross your leg while you're doing your hop, hops. And as you land on one of your hops, your front toe will also touch the ground. Up, kick, hop, touch the ground, hop, kick, land. So slow motion looks like this. And we'll do the more complex double jig step in a circle. And we'll stop, do the fancy step on the spot. So I'd like to throw in a third fancy step, which is very similar to the horse gallop step, and that's a forward running man step. So on the horse gallop step, we did this twice and then switched back. On the forward running man step, we'll just do it once. Scuff, kick, land, switch back. And that's a basic forward running man step. And full speed looks like this. You go into the double jig step. And the forward running man. Double jig step in a circle. And I'll do it slow again here. Scuff, kick, land, hop back. Scuff, kick, land, hop back. Start shifting your weight. Scuff, kick, land, hop back. So again, start shifting your weight. Scuff, kick, land. Put all your weight on the front, hop back. And then you start again, hop back. Scuff, kick, land, hop back. And you keep doing that until you can speed up and it looks like you're kind of running on the spot. And full speed. You can scuff the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot, your whole foot, whatever feels comfortable. Okay, so now I'll do all three changes. That's the horse gallop change, the more complex version. And the front cross change. And as the low part comes on, go into your running man step change. Alright, so those are three more complex changes that you can do with the Red River Jig. Complex fancy steps. They're a little higher impact on the joints, so just work at your own level. But it's something you can work at if you feel comfortable, but you can do jigging with the simpler steps as well.